Hey guys, I am in full deck building mode at the moment. After doing revisiting Shooting Sisters, I'm playing with an old Vader Raider and trying to do stuff with that. I am trying something very new this time. This is going to be a video showcasing a deck, not really showcasing, testing out further a deck idea I've been exploring, which is using Bossk, who I know is very, well, if I say underrated, then I'm obviously passing judgment there. I've played a handful of games with him now, probably about 9 or 10 games, and he has surprised me at the amount of damage that he can output. He can be quite scary if I believe you build a deck well around him. And of course at 15 points, a really nice combination is with the elite 2-player Phasma, who's got amazing dice as well. So I originally built a deck for him, which is kind of based around, I call it spray and pray. It was lots and lots of what you might say is indirect damage. I know that's obviously going to be a proper thing with Legacies, but there was scatterguns, Relby, essentially stuff that tried to dish out the beats everywhere. And then I was using things like Relentless Pursuit and trying to push that damage around. And I actually just never needed to use Relentless Pursuit. I generally was dishing out a lot of damage. So the build that you see here actually started going a little bit more focused with the damage output. And well, as long as my support and my resource engine gets going, the damage output can be pretty scary. Anyway, without further ado, I've got one of my marvellous patrons here ready to play a game. And so we're just setting up and just about ready to go. So we'll get this first hand on the go, and we'll see how it works out. So first of all, we really do want to make sure that we get is a nice amount of resources. So Truce is a really nice card to see early on. However, I'm not, and we've got Imperial HQ, so this is a really solid start. I'm not going to use Ruthless Tactics straight off, and I don't really want to use the best defense early on. The control baton I'm going to keep around, because if he decides to go, that's just a great card to put out anyway, but if he decides to go for Phasma first, then whoever he goes for first, I'm going to get that baton on them. Right, let's draw 2, let's see what we get. Oh, a double baton isn't the best, but okay, we'll take it, never mind. It's a little frustrating, but hey, here we go. I think this is an okay start. It's not terrible, but it could be better, it could be worse. So let's see how it goes anyway. Right. Yeah, I was going to say, don't roll that one. And off the table it goes. Here we go. So this is quite a good pair of characters for winning the roll-off. And what we've got here, 1, 2. We've rolled just a paltry 3. So that's going to be Ad's choice as to which one he goes for. Right then, so let's just have a look at what we're going on here. He has chosen to go with his. Looks like we're playing with his. Yeah, okay. I've actually experimented with Gorel Spaceport, but I am not really sure whether that's going to be the battlefield that we stick with on this. Anyway, he gets down a Dark Council, nice and early. Okay, fair enough. So first thing that we're going to do is I think we'll get out our. I'm not going to play any of these cards onto Phasma right now. So let's get her dice out nice and quickly. No messing around. And let's see what we get. The 2 1s, not the most exciting, but could be a lot worse. he straight away gets a Force Illusion out onto 7th Sister. I nearly played Truce out and sort of decided against it. Kind of glad that I did now, really. I think that was probably the right choice. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to play around with the cameras here. Okay, so we'll pay 1, we'll get out our Imperial HQ. Bossk has got these 3-for-1s. They really are very powerful. I mean, they really can put a lot of damage out. Oh my goodness, he's got 3 upgrades out right at the start here. Well, this is a little bit frustrating because, you know, light to go, of course, for the character's got the most upgrades on, but going for Dooku early on is hard work. So I think at this stage we will we'll pay 1 and we'll get out on the hunt here. Just because it's going to be extra dice, and quite frankly, this deck really needs ramp. It really helps to have ramp. Because of course we actually have got, this deck can build some really quality dice onto the table, as you can see by things like those stun batons, and so being able to have those ramping cards. I've actually got 6 1-cost upgrades in the deck. Okay, so he's got special, the 2, and that 1 focus. Okay, let's have a look. I think we could just play this straight out now, I think. Let's get Bossk on the go. And we roll, wow, we roll trash. We roll a discard. He's got 2 cards left. A resource. Okay, so he's rolled 4 damage there, and he's got some focus. He's also rolled a big discard. That's a bit nasty. That's a bit painful because I guess if we play the truce, get a resource, do I really want to give him a resource? He's not going to get another one, and the thing is I'm going to need to I'm possibly going to lose both of the stun batons here now. I mean, he might try and change it to something else and max out the damage, which is fair enough. I think I might actually just chuck that truce away. And I'm quietly confident that there are better results on Phasma's dice than those 2 ones, so we'll go for it. Oh, we've got the focuses. That's fine. That's fine. Let's see how he decides to organise a reroll here. Sorry, what am I missing there? He's trying to resolve a discard at the same time. I think he was just seeing sticks on there. 4-2 Phasma. Let's just double check. I can cope with that if that's all the damage that we take on Phasma. So he's gone for Phasma first. That makes this a little easier for us. Now he's still got that 1 discard. Kind of not like him to. It's never nice to see the back of Z6 this early in the game, because we might not draw a 3-cost upgrade in the next round. So maybe what we'll do here is we'll use our focuses. He's got no resources, so he's going to really struggle to remove much. So we could hit. Oh, it's really not ideal actually. Let's do it. We'll be bold. We want to reroll that. We want to reroll that. In fact, I think if we keep one focus, and then that way we can at least hit 1 3 for 1 if we don't roll it. Okay. So we have rolled another focus again. So he resolves his Dark Council, which is a great card, by the way. I really, really like Dark Council. And he'll get to roll that back in as he's drawn his card. And he's going to hit a big fat blank. Okay, so we've got no shields to clear with the On the Hunt. I think what we'll do here is we'll resolve both of these. This is a bit scary. We'll go for the 3 for 1 and we'll turn that into the +1 shooty. So that's going to be 5 damage. He's going to doubt this badger. Yep. Oh, and we were lucky. Okay, so we'll obviously now question. Yeah, let's do 7th Sister. Is he going to resolve that? Yeah, he is. Actually, he's got no card. No, he's got 2 cards in hand. Okay, and of course then we will do 2 more to it. He's having a little TTS problems there. Right, 2 damage into her. Okay, 5 damage in the first round. That's okay. Annoyingly, 3 of it got absorbed by a Force Illusion, but I'll be perfectly frank, this deck can dish out a lot more than that. It is very, very spiky, I have found. And so, yeah, no, we're not going to do anything else. I'm just going to straight in and just get that. So, rock away. So he's done 5, 6 with the shield, but so he's definitely ahead, and he's got a reroll. Ooh, another 1. So we're going to be 3, 6 on the Phasma. In the first, he's going to draw another card. He's going to get himself another shield. It's all very nice. Hello. Okay, yeah, he wants to go back 1. That's fine. What's he going to do instead? He's going to take 1. Then he's going to do his. Oh no, here we go. Oh, hello. What's a first round for him? Oh my goodness. 8 damage to Phasma. Wow. You got to say, guys, that's a pretty nice first round there. I mean, wow. 8 damage. That's pretty fantastic. And that, I think, goes to show just how good your Dark Council is. It allows, I mean, he probably drew into that lightsaber throw, and just fantastic, so good. Right, well, definitely up against it here. This is a heck of a lot of damage we've incurred. We've dealt out 2, so let's see how we manage here. Okay, so we've drawn some removal, and we have got a nice 3-cost upgrade. However, we are gonna have to make the most of this girl pretty fast. Let's see if we can get some good. Okay. Shame it wasn't something other than that focus to be able to really. Hello, what we got? 2 something. Okay, so we've played that out. Fair dinkum. Let's just get that special off. 2 damage onto her now. The ancient lightsabers are gonna be hard work in this deck, and I mean, it really may be the case that with having managed to get out 8 damage in the first round, tempo may just be way too against him. I mean, look at all the dice that he's rolling here. He's rolling 8 dice this round, and of course he's got his 2. Hello, we are seeing some shields, so I'm starting to think actually the upgrade I mean, you could just keep with the on the hunt, but we want to get the quality dice out with Bossk. So, is it worth using a doubt here on the shields? Be nice to not have to play that and be able to get one of these 2 in, but a shield cat. This absolutely overcomes Dooku's ability for that dice at least. Yeah, this is I think, I mean, 2 damage, it's a dead Phasma. I think we probably might have to He Doesn't Like You one of those, which is a bit naff, but there we go. You never know. People have not rolled the damage they need in previous times as well. So let's see what happens here. Is he going to take some shields? Probably 2 shields. Or is he just going to keep the pressure on? That's probably what I would do in this instance. I haven't got any damage shown on the table, so not really any need to... Okay, so he hasn't rolled any damage there, but he has rolled the force speed, which is going to give him lots of potential. Lots of potential to re-roll into deadly damage. I think it's probably time to just get a big quality die out. I quite fancy this. He can discard a card each time to overcome that special on Dooku, and it is only going to be worth 2 damage. The 4 for 1 is really big. Haven't seen Hound's Tooth yet so far, which would be really helpful. So I think what we'll do at this stage is we'll go for it. Let's overwrite our On the Hunt and get ourselves a big chunky vibro axe. I have to say, guys, this so far has been probably the most underwhelming game I've played with this deck, which is always the way when it goes on stream. However, it's normally when Bossk gets going with an upgrade on him that we start to see just really how good he can be. So he's hitting us with the lightsaber throw for the kill there. That's very nice. Yeah, it's a good card. It's a solid card. If you're playing against someone who's not going to get much removal on the go, then it's really strong. Right, well, let's get Bossk into the game and see what he does. Oh dear, it's not a great first roll. That has absolutely stopped dead. Let's re-roll it again. And hello, resources all round. Not really what we need. Haven't seen any bait and switches, which are definitely in this deck, of course, to make the most of that. So we're probably going to be ditching a card. I'm feeling like we'll probably be ditching the Riot Control Baton. Maybe not over the flamethrower. We're not doing very well with resources, and one of the big decks plays in this deck is Anarchy, 3 cost. However, without Hound's Tooth, it's hard to get the resources going, and that's why it has to be yellow dice for Anarchy, and that's why I'm going to keep the control baton around, and we'll just re-roll these ones and see what we hit. Okay, sure. So. One of the things I will say that is very good about Imperial HQ is, of course, it really helps to defend against the disrupt, because this deck, if you can really attack its resources, will really struggle. Much of its damage is getting done by those big 3-for-1s, and there's several of them in the deck. So if they, however, he has just re-rolled that one. He's got 2 damage showing. 2 damage at this stage. Nothing. I'm not too fussed about. Let's hit this. So it gets rid of the shields and then hits her for 3. Bound to get an ancient lightsaber onto this at some point. That is it's a very strong dice. It works really nicely in this deck. Okay, so we take the 2 damage there. Sure. One of the things that at the moment I'm sort of coping with is the fact that there's nothing really scary in terms of upgrades that he's put out at the moment. He's just got the 2 decent characters. However, I've got 7th Sister already down to that 7. So he is with 2 dice on the table, 2 cards. He's probably going to risk it for a reroll. So I think what we'll do, and this is where it gets difficult with Bossk. If you haven't got those resources, you've got 3 for 1. Do I re-roll it? Do I not? Because of course he's only got the 1 side that you can just resolve. So without other supporting dice, this is where he can be a bit more frustrating. So I think at this stage I might be better off just going for a straight up re-roll on the both, and we'll see what happens. I think we'll ditch the doubt at the moment and we'll just go for this. Let's see what we hit. The other battlefield that I'm feeling like is quite a decent one to use with this build is the Bomar Monastery, just because that can really make a difference in terms of getting those things resolved. Obviously it's not going to make a difference in this game playing with his battlefield, but yeah, and I think in this instance, I mean, we've done 5 damage this round. It's not loads, but it's okay. Now we really need a good turn. Okay, so we've drawn Truce, that's really nice, and Ruthless Tactics, that's obviously really nice with the Vibro Axe. I mean, we sadly can't play out another 3 cost this round, so we are going to be, hello, and we got a Shoto. It's going to be hard work breaking down Dooku if I can kill off 7th Sister quickly even. Okay, so if he's got a shield on, he'll ping me. He hasn't at the moment. I think with the quality dice that we have at the moment, it makes more sense. I mean, that's good, isn't it? It's really good. I think we'll truce and get out the Z6 because it's going to be able to get. It's got, you know, those 2 sides we can straight up resolve. Now we haven't rolled. We haven't drawn bait and switch, which would have been really great at this stage, but never mind. So let's get the. So we're going heavily melee, which will also help us, of course. You know, with Secluded Beach being in, you know, it's nice to not have to worry about our 2 upgrade dice getting pulled off the board. Oh wow, that's a nice roll. That's a really nice roll. That's a frustratingly nice roll because that's going to be well, that's 4 damage right there. Yeah, he's just saying very, very lucky in the chat. Yeah, I mean that roll probably has just put too much damage out. We haven't got removal here to deal with it, so yeah, we're probably just going to have to suck that up. Oh, and we've rolled a double blank and really nothing for him to worry about. So yeah. Oh, and we stayed on the resource on the baton as well. It's painful all around. Okay. We will discard that and let's just have a big re-roll. Because everything can get better there. Oh, we're still not seeing the big sides. Well, this has been a lackluster performance thus far. This is probably going to be over fairly quick. In which case I will be back and we will do another one, because this deck has put in a very poor showing here and can do a lot better than this. Let's get rid of that and we'll go for another big reroll. Let's just go on those 3 yellow dice. Oh really? Yeah, okay, well, when you roll like that as well, in the round when you really need it to come off for you, you haven't got much hope. So sad, but there it is. 5 damage will of course finish him off, and that's going to be game. Right, let me just see if he's got time for one more. Yeah, so we're going to re-go. So give us just a second and we will reset and go again. Well, my door win. Here we go. So that was, as I said, really lackluster. Although I haven't played against that combination, who knows, this could just be a really bad sort of matchup for it. That is a potential, but I don't think that's, off the top of my head, I don't think that that's the case. So we'll see when we have another game here. But let's have a look. So now, if we can keep Phasma alive an extra round, that would be great. I mean, she managed to get her dice used up in each of those games, but yeah, we didn't get value out of her at all. So that was a pretty poor effort by her. Okay, so, well, that's okay. In this matchup, Flamethrower is just not as useful as the Vibro Axe. And both of these, he wasn't going shield heavy, but he does roll those shields on the ID9s, but that's about it really. Removing the die at the moment, I would still rather see, and Tactical Mastery can go back as well, there's no point having that early. I mean, I can sense he's going to try and go after Captain Phasma, but it's much more important that we see Houndstooth or that we see the Imperial HQ. So Datapad of course helps us with those resources we need. Let's see what we get. Okay, yeah. He doesn't like you at this stage, and we haven't got many dice. Isn't very good removal for us. Anarchy's really cool, and who knows, we might be able to get enough for a nice big Anarchy right at the start of the game. The thing with Anarchy is it is remove one of your yellow dice and then just deal damage to the value showing on it. So Bossk's 3 for 1 is great for that. That's why I think the Flamethrower is really good, and this with the 4 for 1 on it is pretty spanking when you get that. Chuck it out for 8 damage and against a 2 character deck, and if it's against 3 or 4 character deck, then obviously it starts getting a bit silly good. So we've rolled, what have we rolled there? A 5. What have they rolled? He's rolled. Okay, so yeah, so we'll play with ours, I think. However, he was going a little bit faster because he's got that 4 speed, but that secluded beach is not cool. I don't really want to give him 2 shields, but we have got the Vibro Axe, so we'll play with ours. Giving him extra resources I feel like is less powerful than him removing our nice expensive dice, but hey, here we go. This is the fun part of these early games with the deck. You're never quite sure exactly whether it's the right choices or not. So we'll pay 1. What we'll do is we'll get a data pad out onto Bossk. Now I've played 1 game against him. I know he's more likely to focus upon Phasma. In some ways it's actually really not that bad if he does decide to go for Bossk first and get rid of Bossk, because the thing about Phasma is that in later game when you're going to have more damage, that special gets better, and so essentially it says 1, 2 and 3, which is really cool of course. So I'm quietly pleased about that, really. Right, let's get these out of them. Because we've got that one resource there, we can immediately threaten. Or not, because we can roll blanks and resources. That's always good too. See, a 2 discard is beastly. I don't really want to pay to get rid of that, but I mean, he could hit Vibro Axe. That'll be rough. But we need to get set up. We could do with minimizing damage here. Now, he hasn't got any resources. If he takes a resource, I might just swipe that pretty quick. We're not going to get to play that Cutter Axe this round, so I might just have to bite the 2. Oh, hello, that's 4 damage. That's 6 damage on the table now. That is quite good. So what he's probably going to... Right, okay. See, now because I've got 4 damage there, and that a lot of the damage that comes out of this deck will either be modified dice or those big 3-for-1s. I'm actually tempted here to go for the hit. Should I even be contemplating that, or should I just stick 4 damage into Sister? Don't really like her rolling those ID9s. That's the painful thing. So I think the sensible thing is to stick with Sister. Yeah, let's get Sister off. I also wouldn't mind rolling into that 3-for-1 if I can. I might even roll into the 3-for-1. No, I'd have to resolve it against Sister. It'd be really nice to get 7 damage off, but we'll see what happens. Okay, he's rolled his speed. He's got the 2. He's not really in focus. I don't really want to ditch an Anarchy. Oh, any of these cards are going to be pretty nasty if he hits it. So, I mean, I could take the resource and then just stick the Vibro Axe out for next turn. But let's try and... Let's try for a reroll. Because if we roll the 3-for-1, Anarchy is really strong, but it's just not so good against his deck. I'm actually going to ditch the Anarchy. There is another one in there. Let's go for a double reroll. Let's see if we can get something out of this. Ugh. Just pants. Absolutely pants. Bossk is going to feel like Vader. If you're just not rolling his good damage sides, then it's going to be painful. Right, 2 damage, and he still is going for Phasma. Okay, well, we can really load up Bossk then. I think we'll go for one more reroll here. He could hit me for a double discard there, which is going to be naff, but I'm going to have to lose my... I'm probably going to have to lose the Cutter Axe here, which is awful, but unless I actually just use that. Yeah, do you know what? Let's do that. We'll remove that so that I can still have another reroll on that dice and hopefully won't lose that Vibro Axe, because that's so important to get off this game. He's going to keep the 1, so I'm guessing he's got a lightsaber throw in hand. Oh, look at that. Oh, did you really have to hit those sides? I mean, that was perfect roll. That's just brilliant. I mean, you can take the 1. I could do that and get rid of it. I think I might just claim here and take a resource. I mean, if the 3-for-1 is ever left out with Grell Spaceport, you know, you're getting 2 resources off that, which in this deck is super helpful to have an extra 2 resources. And so, you know, in the next round, I am going into the next round 4 resources, which is going to be really, really helpful because I can get that 3-cost upgrade out. I can get this Vibroax out if he doesn't hit it. Yeah. So let's see what he does. Probably going to get a lightsaber throw off here. Yep, there it is. Could see it coming a mile off. Hit for another 2. And here we go. This is an important roll. This is an important one. Oh, okay. Whew. That could have been worse. Yep, he's just paying for his lightsaber throw. Here we go then. So we'll get those in. Right, draw 4. See, we could play the stun baton out and have it go. Oh, that's a bit of a tempter actually. To play that stun baton out, and then could I get a resolution off it? He's going to roll straight away. He's got to get quite a bit of damage though. Do you know what? It's probably worth it. I think it's going to be worth it. So we'll go for that. It's probably going to be worth it. We'll see. We'll go for it. I mean, if he rolls the 2 melee sides off Dooku now, I'd probably I'd be going. There's more chance of hitting the lethal damage. For real, skis. I mean, come on. Oh man, this game sometimes. What's that? A 1 in 36 chance that he just did that. Well, that is so annoying. Oh, you gotta love this game sometimes. You're right. Well, let's chuck him in, obviously. Oh, look at that. A lovely roll too. Dear me. Oh, wow. That really hurts. What can you do? But I think that was the right play to make. I mean, you played the odds. So, you know, I'm still going to get to use the dice. I just didn't get to resolve it twice, which of course would have been absolutely magic. But there you go. So, and he's rolled out an extra point of damage as well. So yeah, there it goes. That is a little frustrating because we've missed out on quite a bit of damage there. Okay. I think with the amount of dice that have got 3 for 1 side on, we're going to need to keep that one, and we'll just get this in. And if we roll some 3 for 1s, and we'll use the Grell Spaceport. If we can't afford to pay for them, right? We've got 2 blanks. Right, let's get that onto something decent. Fine, that's much better. It's not lethal damage on Sister, but starting to get there. I doubt, of course, on this. You watch him roll the +2 now. Okay. Let's get rid of rocket launcher to do a reroll on these 2. Come on, let's hit something decent. Resources. Oh, really? Well, we'll have to use the bait and switch then for 5 damage on Sister, which is not enough to kill her. Just going to hit for the 2 disrupt. It's going to get rid of our vibro axe, which is annoying. But I'm going to have to do this. Let's do the 5 there. He'll discard both of these cards. Unless he's just going to really push for damage. I mean, we have also chucked the rocket launcher. Wow, he is discarding a false illusion for, and he's just going for it. He's going for the damage. Well, he's got an extra 2 there, plus a disrupt. I think at this point I will claim and get 1 resource. Yeah. Another 2 damage from that old lightsaber throw. And then it's working, I have to say, it's working nicely. Like, it really is. It's going. I do like Sister Dooku. Right then. We are not looking healthy. We've got no Houndstooth. We've got no Imperial HQ. We've only got the 2 resources. Our Gorel Spaceport hasn't made us any advantage. And we are 6 points away from death. And he's got a full Dooku over there, who hasn't got any upgrades on him, but still. This is problematic. Now, I need to keep that Vibro Axe. However, if I feel like I also need to keep on the hunt, because I need to be able to deal with shields. You know, that's effectively 1, 2 or 3 damage that he's going to mitigate. So I am just going to draw 3 here. Okay, a truce is definitely helpful here. Let's truce. And I think we'll have to overwrite the data pad with the cutter axe. Okay, so we've got we've got 4 really good quality dice now. Okay, he's rolled a disrupt. That is really painful. The disrupt in that deck, there's quite a bit of it, isn't there? So, I mean, we don't have a lot of option here. This is definitely a deck that at this stage, because this is still fairly early. Oh, hello. Still fairly early in the testing. Do you know, I'm actually going to re-roll that one. Still fairly early in the testing. Still fairly early on. Oh, that's a nice roll. What's he rolling? All in. Okay. He's going to focus into the 4. What's he doing? Into the 2 damage. He's only got the. No, he has got the 2 focus, hasn't he? So yeah, and then he'll hit that. And then there's 2 focus. Right then. So at this stage I could just take the 2 resources, which I think I will. Bit frustrating that it's only going to be I just need to take it, don't I? I mean, he could remove, and there's not a lot I can do about it. I mean, I have to be able to try and just do the beats. He's got that 1 shield. He's going for the lightsaber throw for the old Yeah, but he's a bit slow for that. Unless he's going for Shoto, which would be rather excellent, of course, with Count Dooku. Yep. So on my turn, so we'll stick the one into there. And then we'll hit that. One. Interesting. Let's have a think. Not sure if you can do that. 1 sec. For this character's dealt damage, discarded, give him a shield. Yeah. Because the cutter axe removes that shield. Timing wise. So he will just take the 2 damage on that. Essentially, because it's before the damage is dealt, you can discard, give Dooku a shield. He'd be on 2 shields, and then the cutter axe's ability goes off and cuts through those shields. I mean, he's just going to finish us off here, so we will claim the Gorel spaceport. I mean, I've got no resources, I've got no dice out, there's no point me messing around and saying, oh, that's gonna be a not quite. He used to go for a reroll, doesn't he? He's just going to deal 3. Okay. And take the shield. Sure. Take the resource. Okay. I mean, he's feeling fairly confident at this stage going. Right, so let's have a look. I mean, we quite literally just need, we don't need any more upgrades. I mean, we've just Ruthless Tactics, Tactical Mastery, sadly we can't use that. Finally we see Houndstooth, all the Imperial Discipline, which is brilliant on Phasma early game because that just gets you well, at least 1 resource pretty much every time. So it's just, sadly we've not seen the cool stuff when we need it. There's nothing to do here but to get these dice out on the table and hopefully rolling amazingly, which we don't. Brilliant. Okay. This is just so naff. That is a naff. Just a naff nothing roll there. Not like last time we rolled those 3 for 1s. Okay. Go on in, Dooku. He's rolled no damage, but he has rolled the Force Speed Special. I didn't even roll 1 bait and switch, very annoyingly. Let's discard that. And we need to go for the reroll on those badgers. And we shall see what happens. That's going to go to a blank. And still no resource side. Ooh, that's annoying. And there it is. GG! I mean, just not. One sec, just going to say goodbye to him and then we'll finish up. Finishing up. Okay, so. I mean, if you look at what happened in that second game there, that round, if I just hadn't taken quite so much damage there, you can see that we have got quality dice going on, and we can fix them and we can up their damage pretty well. Ruthless Tactics clearly is turning all of these dice into 4s, and Ruthless Tactics with Houndstooth is a little bit silly. I love it with Houndstooth. even just for getting all those resources. And as you can see, there was a couple of times when just not having the resources was really causing us problems. If you miss out on one good upgrade, we know what Destiny's like. The margins are small. That can make a massive difference. However, the damage output of this deck, I mean, I played 6 games of it last night, maybe 7 games of it last night, and some of the spikiness of the damage that Bossk can deal is astonishing. And when you have Houndstooth, when you have Imperial Discipline, when you have Imperial HQ, and you're seeing these things that are just allowing, and you're rolling some resources on Phasma or whatever, if those things happen, then you can put such good upgrades out. I mean, there's no two ways about it. That has been quite literally the 2 most disappointing games I've played with this. But some of the plays that are available with this deck are really, really very, very strong. So why did it go wrong is the question here. Because any of you watching can of course see the quality of dice that we've got. We know Phasma's, she's got 3 damage sides on, and a lot of the time they'll say 1, 2 and 2, and sometimes they'll say 1, 2 and 3 on them. That's big. Bossk has got big damage size on him, 1, 2 and a 3. You know, it's the same. They're more situational to get off, but we can with a deck that's set up to have these resources like this one is. Okay, they don't always come off, and it is really unfortunate that it's been 2 games on the trot that hasn't happened. But the quality of dice, and also then combined with the tricks that we can do. This is Yellow Villain. We know they got loads of tricks, but when we can do tricks like Anarchy, and we can remember, Anarchy is you deal damage equal to the value on that dice. Well, with Houndstooth, you know, we can stick 3 damage out onto all characters, 4 damage out onto all characters, and that thing only costs 2 to put out. It's a really very, very good support to have in a deck like this. And of course, the other thing I'll point out is we're playing with Bossk, and that's his ship, which is also really cool. I love a bit of theme in it. We do run the Relby in this deck, and again, as you can see, if we've got Houndstooth coming, if we've got the support package coming out and generating the resources for us, then being able to play the Relby out and know that you were going to turn that damage into a big spread, or if it's late game, fine, it's got a 2, a 2 and a +3, which you can just target onto that final character. And you know, there are going to be, in this meta at the moment, I feel like coming across Dooku as the last character quite a lot, and then your modified sides become brilliant, because then you're doing those big chunks of damage to him and taking him down, and that's one of the things I really like about this deck. We've got upgrades in that can dish the beats all over, spread the damage out, and of course Bossk is able to just chip away at moving some of that damage around. But we've also got these big dice that can then target the damage and do 6, 7, 8, even more damage in one go to one character. So the damage output is massive, but as you can see, you have to get the right support package to go with it, and maybe I just need to tweak that a little bit more. There is one play that I was considering playing, and that's it's the support that comes into play tapped, and you get 1 resource for it. It's got a picture of Scarif Beach on it, I think. It's gone from my mind now which one it is. But if you of course play that with Docking Bay, and Docking Bay works quite nicely with this deck, with Houndstooth only costing 1, with being able to get Imperial HQ for free. So there's loads of options. Anyway, I'm going to call it there on this one. I will come back with something on this, and hopefully we'll get a couple of games where you can see what this deck's capable of when it actually has the resource and logistics support. Yeah, that's definitely coming up. Look out for that one. So anyway, until next time guys, keep enjoying your Destiny.